for the people of Ukraine as they defended their country. Since then, all of you, all my fellow leaders, have built a global coalition to support Ukraine, supplied economic and humanitarian support, supplied weapons that Ukraine needs to defend itself. And 2 days ago, I announced a historic donation of air defense equipment to protect Ukrainian cities, troops, and from Russian missiles. And here today, with all these important people behind me, we take another important step in our collective support for Ukraine. We refer to it as the Ukraine Compact. And here's how it works. Last year, the G7 nations signed onto a declaration to protect Ukraine long term, not just for the duration of this war, but beyond after they win. 25 additional countries quickly joined them and pledged to negotiate and sign a bilateral security agreement with Ukraine. Now, 1 year later, more than 20 countries plus the European Union have completed and signed these agreements. And more countries are finalizing theirs as we speak. This compact brings all those countries together in a unified, coordinated, and comprehensive architecture to support Ukraine, not just for now, but for years in the future. In the short term, we'll continue to supply Ukraine with the weapons, munitions, and training they need to repel Russian forces. In the medium term, we'll help build a future force that has the strength and the capabilities both to defend Ukraine and deter further aggression. In the long term, after this war is over, if Putin ever tries it again, all the countries that endorsed the compact have pledged to have Ukraine's back, just like we have it now. You heard me say it before. We're building a bridge to NATO for Ukraine, a pathway leading to an eventual membership as they continue to implement important domestic reforms. This compact, which is on the stage here, is a central piece of that bridge. What happens to Ukraine matters. It matters to all of Europe. It matters to NATO. Quite frankly, it matters to the whole world. We're united against Putin's senseless and brutal war. We are united behind Ukraine as it fights to defend its freedom and its future. We're united behind a vision of the world where free countries like Ukraine do not have to fear aggression from a brutal tyrant next door. I want to commend you, Ukrainian armed forces, as their defense secretary leaders are here as well, and the Ukrainian people. You're incredible. But through all of your country, you're incredible. Their courage, the determination, the sacrifices they've made. And I commend all the nations that stepped up when it counted to stand with Ukraine. I've said before, Russia will not prevail in this war. Ukraine will prevail in this war, and we'll stand with them every single step of the way. That's what the compact says, loudly and clearly. And now I want to hand it over to the President of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President.
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Mr. President, dear our friends of Ukraine. Last year at the NATO summit in Vilnius, we took a very strong step with a G7 declaration on security for Ukraine, for Ukrainian people. And we did not waste time, and now we have a solid architecture of security guarantees. I thank President Biden for his leadership and all the efforts to make our security cooperation full of strong actions. There are 23 strong agreements, and there will be agreements with other countries. And we have a historically significant security agreement with the United States. All of these helped us obtain the necessary air defense systems, thanks to America and to all the partners, to all the leaders and your societies, your people, of course. And thanks to all partners for the Patriots and other air defense systems, provision of F-16s and assistance so that our people and our country could withstand Russian attacks on our energy sector, as well as training, cybersecurity, intelligence cooperation, and the development of the defense industry. This Ukraine Compact we are forming takes our relations to a new level, a significant achievement for Ukraine and all of us. Slava Ukraini!
Okay, so we are live. We went live early to pick up this address from Washington at the NATO summit. We'll be coming back, I think. Biden was scheduled. Let me just confirm this. What time is the news conference? I believe the news conference is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. Let me just confirm that. No, begins now. He was supposed to start taking questions, but I'm not seeing him do that. So maybe they'll come back here in a moment. Let me stick with this. See if the feed resumes. The reason I wanted to go live with this when it was happening is because Biden is still under intense pressure to resign. And this big boy news conference, as it has been promoted, is being seen now as maybe a make or break event for Biden as he tries to survive this pressure from within his own circles to step aside as the candidate. This is seen as an opportunity for him to prove that he still has the ability to take questions and respond and handle himself properly in public during these events. So we'll see what happens. This is not the information we were given on timing, not clear with regard to this news conference. So we saw the address, but we are waiting for him to begin the news conference portion of the address. Now, tonight also on Maverick News, we have some other stories to share with you. And I'm just checking to make sure we're firing properly on Wimkin tonight. We're supposed to be. Yeah, I think we are. Yep, we're rocking and rolling over there. So we're on Wimkin as well right now, live. We're going to be joined live, I believe, by Jeff Bottoms of the Southern Ontario Military Muster. He is going to tell us about some other events, and one in particular, some other events coming up that will pay tribute to our veterans. He's been instrumental in organizing a whole series of these events over the last few years, and he has another one coming up. George Clooney calling for Biden to step down, and a lot of new developments on the electric vehicle front tonight. Another $1.7 billion earmarked for big auto manufacturers coming from the Biden administration so that they will build more electric vehicles, but will consumers respond? I just don't know. Let me take a little break here. I'll get things a little bit more organized so that we can continue our coverage of what is supposed to be a big boy news conference with President Biden. Let's see if he follows through and takes those questions from reporters tonight. I'll be right back.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on Earth.
The entire world is watching.
Every dictator, every crazy dictator in the world is watching. The world is watching. On TV,
The entire world is watching.
on social media. But the entire world is watching, and yes, they are seeing what we have apparently bravely been willing to say that others are thinking.
Stand for freedom. Literally stand for freedom. Let's get this done. The entire world is watching.
We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars.
Maverick News. Maverick News. Maverick News.
Let me have more control of my own destiny.
The world is watching. Greetings, brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals. Defenders of individual rights and freedoms. Credible. Trusted. Grounded in reality. Maverick News. Maverick News. Defending free speech. Free speech. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow may be too late. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Okay, I'm back, and yeah, our information was and is correct. The news conference will take place at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 35 minutes from now. So we just picked up the initial address on the Ukraine compact at the NATO summit. We're going to sign off. I will be back at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I will set up a new stream, and we'll go live a half an hour earlier than we have been normally. And we'll provide live coverage of the big boy news conference, a news conference that some say could make or break Joe Biden's candidacy heading into the presidential election. We'll see how it goes at 6:30 p.m. See you back here, right then, on the flip side.
This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.